Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. Today's video is going to be about options, and I want it to be kind of a forum. If you disagree with me about what important options are on a tractor, put it in the comments down below. I like to get a lot of opinions, and we're all different. You know, what I like on a tractor may not be what you like on a tractor, so if you disagree with me or I've missed anything, put it in the comments down below. Today's video was inspired by a letter from Wayne. And Wayne is one of my more loyal listeners, and he had a question. He said, why does it seem that tractor vendors are only allowing cabs on tractors equipped with hydrostatic drive transmissions? And that's a good question, and we'll answer it at the end, or try to. But today I want to talk about the different options you can get on a tractor. And I'm going to talk about options you always get on every tractor, which there's a couple of them. Options that if you think you might want, get it when the tractor is new. Options I always want on my tractor if I were buying a new tractor, and then options I really don't care about. And then you can argue with me, and that's fine. Just put it in the comments down below. Most of tractor makers don't allow you to really select options. Most tractor makers will make an inexpensive tractor. That's the one the dealers advertise with the low payments and the cheap price, and then a deluxe tractor. So you really can't mix and match the options on those tractors. But maybe what we talk about today will help you decide which one of those tractors you want, whether you want to spend the extra money for the deluxe tractor or go with the bargain tractor. So let's talk about two options you always get on a tractor: front end loader and four-wheel drive. Now, if you get over 50 horse and it's a utility tractor, you can live without four-wheel drive. But on the small tractors, every one of them needs to be equipped with four-wheel drive, because without it, these little tractors are pretty helpless. Front end loader, you may not think you'll use it, but if you don't buy it when the tractor's new, it won't go in the payment stream. You'll have to pay extra freight to get one trucked in, and you'll have to pay the dealer to put it on. And it'll help your resale value, and I guarantee if you think you'll never use a front end loader once you've owned one, you'll find uses for it. So I'm going to talk about three options that if you think you ever want, get them when the tractor's new, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. And those are mid-mount PTO, rear remotes, and a third function kit. What these are, first off, the mid-mount PTO is what powers a belly mower. Now, I'm not a big belly mower fan. You may be, and that's fine. If you like belly mowers, that's great. And I may own one when I get older. When I downsize and I only want to maintain one machine, I may get a belly mower. But if you want a belly mower, you have to have a mid-mount PTO. And if you're buying a new tractor, a lot of the tractor brands only offer mid-mount PTO on hydrostatic drive. So if you buy a gear drive and later on want a mid-mount belly mower, you can't get it because you can't power it with that mid-mount PTO. So if you think you want that on down the road, get it when the tractor's new. The other two revolve around hydraulics, and that's rear remotes and a third function valve. And both of these are getting hydraulic flow on demand to either the back of the tractor or the front of the tractor. Both kits you want to buy when the tractor's new because they come in a kit. And if you don't buy them when the tractor's new, once they discontinue that tractor, generally the manufacturers will take each piece of those kits and put them in the parts department. So if you want to order a set of remotes and have the factory levers and the factory hoses and everything, or the third function valve that goes on the front of the tractor to get hydraulic flow to a grapple or something like that, you've got to buy each individual part separately, and it gets real expensive real fast, and sometimes some of those parts go obsolete pretty quick. So if you think you want a third function valve or rear remotes, get them when the tractor's new. Now, you can add them later on. I sell an extra valve kit on my website that will get you hydraulic flow to the front, but it's a diverter valve. It's not a third function kit. And you can online order a rear remote kit that gets flow from the joystick, but it's not the factory job. So if you want those, get them when the tractor's new. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of options that I think are critical to me. And usually these will only come on the deluxe tractors, and they won't come on the inexpensive or the tractors the dealers advertise. First one is a folding roll bar. When it's winter and we've got snow coming in, I'll park my tractor in the garage so it's warm with the roll bar folded down with the blade on it, and then I can go right to blade in the snow and don't have any trouble getting the tractor started because it's cold. The second option I would not be without is a quick attach loader bucket. A quick attach loader bucket simply allows you to raise a couple of levers or pull a couple of pins out and take your loader bucket off and put on a grapple or pallet forks or something like that. I am constantly switching implements on the front of the tractor. Quick attach there is real important. On my website, I sell quick attach conversions, but you're better off financially to get that when the tractor is new. Now, the last thing I would not be without are telescopic stabilizers. And these are the little arms that go from the lower 3-point link arms back to the axle to keep the implement from swinging back and forth behind you. These come in two ways. They come either as a turnbuckle or as a telescopic stabilizer. And the telescopic stabilizer is a tube in a tube with holes in it where you put a pin down and lock it in place. It's a lot easier to do than tightening up a stabilizer. Now you may think, oh, I'll get the stabilizers on the cheaper version of the tractor and save money and order them from somebody else later. But I hate to tell you, because there's differences in the length and how they attach, it's almost impossible to get those telescopic stabilizers to replace the turnbuckle type stabilizers. And I like the telescopic stabilizers a lot better. Now there's a bunch of other options on tractors that are okay, but I wouldn't pay extra for them. Two revolve around the 3-point arms. Extendable link arms are great. What extendable lower link arms enable you to do is lift the latch, and you can extend the lower link arms out to make hooking up the implement easier. You hook up the balls around the pins, pin them in place, and then you back up, and that's all locked in place. I have Pat's Easy Change on my tractor. It's like an eagle claw system. You just back up and raise up and you're into the implement. So to me, the Pat's Easy Change negated the need for extendable lower link arms. They're just covered up on my tractor now. The other 3-point option is when you're trying to level out your lower link arms, there's either a crank, which comes on some of the deluxe tractors and is preferable, or a turnbuckle. I could live with either one because you're usually not adjusting those very much. You're just kind of leveling them up once in a while. I'd be fine with the crank or the turnbuckle. Either one wouldn't influence my tractor buying decision. Next thing revolves around seating. Deluxe seats, armrests, seats that swivel. I have a tractor with a swivel seat, and I almost never use it. The other thing is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel, and I have a tractor with the tilt wheel. Almost never use it. So those are two options I wouldn't pay extra for. They're handy if you need them, but I don't use mine that much. Now, one option that comes on some of the deluxe tractors is economy PTO. And this is kind of a nice option. Say you're bush hogging in August and you're just kind of cleaning the place up. You really don't need to have the tractor running wide open to power the PTO because it's not taking that much horsepower. You can shift in your economy PTO. It's like an overdrive for PTO, and you can brush hog and you're still getting the speed you want from your blades, but you're doing it at a lower RPM. That's a nice option. I'm not sure I'd pay extra for it, but if I had it, I would use it. And finally today, the option that I probably wouldn't even have if I could get it is a grill guard. And you may argue with me on that. Most grill guards, you have to pull a couple of pins and move forward to open the hood. And I'm constantly opening the hood. And so I don't like to have to go to that hassle. Now, it protects the front end of your tractor. And first time I have to buy a headlight lens or a hood, I'll wish I had a grill guard, but it's not something I want just because of the hassle. Now, if you could find a grill guard where the hood would open up without moving the grill guard, oh, I'd be all in on that. But finally today, let's get to transmission and Wayne's question. Hydrostat versus gear. And I have a hydro, and I grew up on a gear drive transmission. I really like my hydro. The advantages of hydro are, of course, easy to use. Real easy to use with a loader because it's simple going back and forth, no clutch to engage. If I'm in tight quarters and I'm backing up a lot with my bush hog, I can do it and no problem. So I'm kind of a big fan of hydro. Now, bush hogging with a hydro is a bad idea, and I know this, but a lot of us do it. Hydros don't like heat, so if I'm out in that pasture in August in 100-degree heat with that hydro, it's building heat, and that's going to shorten the life of it. I'm willing to pay for a new hydro someday when I burn mine up, just because I like the convenience of it. Obviously, Wayne, you don't want a hydro. Hydros take extra horsepower. They're more complex. So you want a gear shift transmission in a cab. And so I'm asking you, my viewers, would you like to have a cab tractor, say 40 horsepower cab tractor with a gear shift versus hydro? I'd be curious to know if there's a demand out there for that, and I'm sure the manufacturers would build it if they knew there was a demand out there. Now, Wayne, to get to your question finally today, if you're looking for a tractor with a gear shift transmission and a cab, they exist, but they're bigger. You could probably find one around 60 to 70 horsepower with a gear shift and a cab. Now, that may be bigger than you want, but you might be surprised it may not cost that much more money, because a gear shift transmission is cheaper than hydro by $1,000 to $1,500. You may be able to buy a bigger tractor with the gear drive transmission that you want. So check it out, see. All of this information and more is in a book I wrote called An Insider's Guide to Purchasing a Tractor. If you'd like to get my book, go to my website right here. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd be honored. Click the mic face icon and check the bell so you're notified when I post future videos. And here's a video that shows two tractors, same brand, same horsepower, radical difference in price. You might want to watch it. Thanks for watching.